Okay, I suppose first I'll show you what it does. I'm already in combat, so all my symbols are showing up because I'm fighting this dummy. But anyway, you can see I've got Vampiric Touch, Shadow Word Pain, and Mind Blast here. And I'm always going to prioritize dots, and then Shadow Word Pain, Mind Blast, and then my filler is going to be Mind Flay. The way I'm spec'd, you're going to see Mind Spikes hit for free, and I'll use those. But mostly you're doing dots, then that, then your Mind Flay. And you can see once they've been cast, these disappear and I get timing bars. Hit my fillers until these pop up, then I use them. Keep doing fillers. I've got a Mind Spike there, Mind Blast, Mind Spike, and now my dots are coming back up, so I pop those out, and I just keep doing the priority. You can see my timers. There's another proc. Now my dots are off. I always keep those dots together even if they're not exactly. They usually are pretty close. Another Mind Spike. Filler, Mind Spike, dots back up. Mind Blast. Pretty easy when you have this. All you have to do is look here and do all your stuff. So I'll back out of combat and I'll show you how to build them.
I do not have a target.
Okay, so you just type /WA to pop your menu. And I've got all this crap already. I wish I had a blank slate so I could show you, but so for these type, oh, that's Karma. I have Karma on every guy in case it gets cast on me. It's just showing what I have loaded on this guy. For these kind of icons, you push icon, new icon. It'll ask you to name it, and then you'll do all this shit. I'm going to delete that one because I don't want to make any new ones. I'll just show you how they work. So I won't say I want to make my dots. I'll make one for Shadow Word Pain. So I pick new icon, name it Shadow Word Pain. There we go. And it would come up with something here. You can move these around, resize them, change the icons. This is the first page you'll be on. You want to, it'll say pick automatically and you say no, so unclick that and then click choose. Type in your Shadow Word Pain. Type in your Shadow Word Pain. And pick the icon, then hit OK. And you can, if you want to mess with text or whatever you can, but you're pretty much done. You move it where you want it. Now you're going to pick when it triggers and what it is. So you want this to trigger when it's being weird. Okay, so you have different types of stuff here. These are aura, and you can tell it's a debuff because you hit it on your target. Now they've got the debuff aura Shadow Word Pain. So you want aura Shadow Word Pain on your target. So you can pick a few things you want it on your target, and that's a debuff. You have to say it's a debuff, and you only want to track your own, not other people's. And then inverse means you want this to show up when it's not on. So he doesn't have Shadow Word Pain on, so it tells me to. I cast it, and if this was closed, that would disappear. So aura Shadow Word Pain on your target. It's a debuff. Track only my own. Inverse. Now that'll make this symbol, and for the timer, you pick progress bar. Name it Shadow Word Pain or whatever. I don't even have names on these. and you'll get something like this. It auto counts down when your menu is open, but it won't do that when you close it. So, oh, I forgot to show you the load. Just a sec. Okay, aside from picking what it is, you also have to say when it loads. So I want this to load when I'm in combat on a priest, and you can say shadow, or you can have it show up when you heal if you want to. It doesn't matter. So in combat, priest, shadow, and that should be it for that one. Then you'll go back to the timer. So for this one, you do the same thing. It'll ask you if you want to auto do the icon, and you don't. You turn it off. Let's see. Oh, so yeah, here you hit choose, type it in just like you did the other place, pick shadow word pain, and that'll give you this little icon here, and you can name it. These things say the name of the spell or whatever. You can see it says progress, total, blah blah blah. You can read through those. Trigger is going to be aura, shadow word pain on my target. It's a debuff. I only want to track my own, and you don't hit inverse because you're tracking when it already is on the person. So the other one's inverted, this one's not. Load is going to be very similar. You want it to load in combat on a priest. I want it to track this no matter what spec I'm in, so I just leave it. No talent spec selected. Same thing for these, you're going to say new icon. You're going to turn off automatic and choose. I picked this because it's the only thing that has the same icon as Vampiric Touch, which is weird. But so pick whatever. Target is going to be aura, Vampiric Touch on your target, debuff, track my own, and you want it to show up when it's not on them. So when I cast it, it'll disappear because it is on them. Same thing here in combat on a shadow priest. Priest, shadow. Pretty simple for the icons. The trackers are a little harder. Here's another tracker, and how I did that before is new progress bar, and then you'll name it. Now I've got my Vampiric Touch progress bar. You want to make sure you pick your, it doesn't matter what you pick, you can pick anything. It looks like I picked shadow word pain. It doesn't matter, it's super small. And this is going to be the same, aura, Vampiric Touch, target, debuff, track my own when it is on them, so I don't invert it. I've got some generalized ones, sap and karma I have on everyone. So this is kind of neat. I don't have an icon for this. It's I just left it automatic because I don't want anything to show up at all for the thing. I just want it to do an action. So this triggers, let's see, when sap is cast on me, player, that's a debuff. And it loads at all times, so even if I'm sapped in combat, I just didn't select anything. And the action, which you're not going to use in very many of these, my action is that in chat message it's going to say, help, I've been sapped, I need an adult. So anytime, anywhere in the game I get sapped, my character will say this. So it'll show up above my head and in my chat. Karma is another one I use for everyone, but I do want a symbol. Everything else is the same. I want it to show touch of karma. This is going to trigger when the aura touch of karma is on me. That's a debuff. So if I am in PvP and I get karma'd, this will pop up and I know to stop attacking or I'll kill myself. The other cool things that you can do with this, and I'll make something weird. I can do an icon or a progress bar, doesn't matter. Just gotta name it garbage. Undo automatic icon, pick, doesn't matter. Yeah, looks like a guy yelling, I don't know. Put it anywhere you want. Resize it however you want. I want this to trigger, and this is what I'm going to show you different. You can go to status, and action usable is by far going to be the most useful one. So if I want to know when Shadow Fiend is available, which I actually already have a tracker on here somewhere, but I don't see it. Oh, because it's only for discipline. In that case, I should change the icon. So this is going to trigger when the status is the action usable Shadow Fiend. I want it to load in combat. I want a priest. When I'm in shadow, because I already have one built for discipline. So now if I come up and fight, let me turn auras off. Okay, you can see that I can cast Shadow Fiend. Now I've cast it and it's not available, so it disappears. I go on about my other business.
That is still recharging.
Mana is not a problem, so you should always cut your Mind Flays short to cast your Mind Blasts. Anyway, if I were to wait 3 whole minutes, that would be available and it would pop up again. The other neat things you can do is, so like on a hunter, when my focus gets under 30%, I want something to tell me I need to start doing steady shots. That way I don't have to watch my focus ever. Named it steady shot icon. This is going to trigger when my status is that special power focus, which I'll have to look for because I don't use that very often. I think it actually considers power your focus. Yes, there it is. Power, power type, focus. Power percentage. Less than 40, 30, whatever you want to put in there. I would say 35 would be decent. Then I would say load in combat on a hunter and whatever spec you wanted it for. Obviously I don't want one for my, and it doesn't matter what, if I actually made one right now it would show up on my hunter, which he already has one. Other cool things you can do with that is like Soul Reaper for Death Knight. You can use it at any time, but you should never use it unless their health is under 35%. So you can make an aura that says action usable action usable, I would put in Soul Reaper, and then I would add a trigger, which, let me see here. Oh, add trigger, it'd give you a second column like this, and I would say also status enemy health less than 35%. So when the conditions of castable and that their health is below 35%, then I'd get an icon for Soul Reaper. And these are really handy to track your diseases, any kind of dot, your like tranquility or something. If you were healing, you can basically do just about anything with it. But you can play around in it, but the most important thing is just knowing what these are, and I don't use very many of these. You can get by pretty much only using icon and progress bar. Progress bars track timings before they wear off. You can also, for this piece here, you can change it from right to left to bottom to top. On my Death Knight, my diseases I track in this direction. A couple little bars, I don't know why, I just like it that way. You can do bottom to top, top to bottom, left to right, whatever you want. You can change the size of these. You can change the color of what it fills with. Like my Death Knight, one disease is blue and one's green, I think. This little green button will add everything that loads for this character so you can make sure they don't overlap too bad. And of course you can always delete them. But you're going to have to do a lot of messing around in here. Basically when I enter combat, this isn't going to show up because no one has karma on me, but everything else is, and I'll just start managing my shit. I know I like to open with Vampiric Touch, Shadow Word Pain, get my debuffs on because the procs from those will give you free Mind Spikes and free Mind Blasts, and then from there I fill with Mind Flay anytime that my other priorities are already met. And of course I have healing gear and it's not that great, so I'm not going to be doing a lot of damage. But certainly not bad. Plus that's a raid dummy. I think this is not a raid dummy. Oh, that's a healing guy though. Dungeoneers. Yeah, anyway, they're all 102.